Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger.
Another hold-up, Jay?
Sort of looks like it.
Sheriff, is it Jim Marks?
Yeah. He's driven his last stage.
Black Dice.
Yeah. Chalk up another murder for Dice Dawson.
5 holdups and 4 killings in the last month. If this keeps up, people will begin to move out of this area. Just like Don Stewart did last week after Dawson had robbed and killed his son.
He hasn't troubled you any?
That's because I have men to protect my ranch. No, it's the small rancher and businessman that I'm concerned about. If Dawson gets together a gang and starts to burn homes and destroy crops, he'll bankrupt a lot of these landlords.
I'm doing the best I know. But Dawson's a smart outlaw.
The law caught up with him back in '68. It'll do it again.
Providing it is Dawson.
There have been black dice found at every holdup. To me, that spells Dawson.
Dawson was a bandit. He wasn't a killer.
Yes, but prison could have changed him.
Then why did he wait till he'd been out of prison for 10 years before turning outlaw again?
What are you getting at, Jay?
Well, I just think that some crook is trying to cash in on Dawson's notoriety and the legends that have grown up around him since he dropped out of sight.
And no matter what you think, Thomason, a federal marshal's due here tomorrow with a full description of Dice and pictures that were taken in prison.
What?
Yeah. I wrote 3 weeks ago. Got a letter yesterday.
Well, once we know what Dawson looks like, maybe we can get somewhere. See you later, Jonathan.
Yeah, goodbye, Mr. Elliott.
So long, Sheriff.
Yeah, bye.
Mr. Elliott.
Yes? What is it?
It's wonderful the way you've been helping this town. I mean by offering to keep the price of land up in spite of this kind of business.
My father was the first big rancher in Wyoming. Elliott City is named for him. And I'm not going to allow any outlaw to turn it into a ghost town.
That's why you bought the Don Stewart place at such a good price.
Yes, but I can't buy the whole town.
Well, this has nothing to do with Dawson, but Nellie and I want to sell our ranch.
I didn't think you'd desert us.
Well, something's come up and we just have to sell. I was wondering if you could...
Well, of course, Jay. Would you consider $5,000 a fair price?
More than fair, under the circumstances. Thank you, Mr. Elliott.
You just bring the deed to my place tomorrow.
Thank you very much, sir. You don't know how much this means to me.
This morning's haul was almost 12,000. I'll see you tonight so we can line up the next job.
Me hear news in Red Rock, Kimasabi.
What kind of news, Tonto?
You know outlaw named Dice Dawson?
Yes, I've heard of him. He was active in Texas about 15 years ago. Served a term in prison and then disappeared. There were rumors that he'd reformed.
People say him rob and kill in Elliott City right now.
Tonto, I doubt if it's the same man. You see, Dawson wasn't a killer.
Black Dice found at scene of every killing, Kimasabi.
Black Dice? That was Dawson's trademark, all right. He pictured himself a colorful, dashing figure, wanted credit for his crimes. Despite his boasting and desire for publicity, Dawson was clever. Tonto, if he's turned killer, he'll be a menace to this whole territory.
Elliott City only days ride from here, Kimasabi.
Yes, Tonto. Let's break camp and get started right away.
Boss, I've been down to the east pasture. We're going to need wire for that fence if you expect...
That'll have to wait. Yeah?
I didn't expect you home quite so... What's the matter?
What do you think?
Another holdup?
They killed Jim Marks this time.
Oh, no.
He was lying on the floor of the coach with a pair of black dice in his hand. I'm still on the ranch, Nellie. We've got to leave this town.
Just when we've saved enough to build our house.
Well, what do you want me to do? Wait till they find out who I am?
But you can prove you didn't have anything to do with these killings.
Once they find out I'm Dice Dawson, they'll be too busy trying to lynch me to bother about proof.
Oh, it's not right. We changed our names. We came way out here where no one will notice. We build up a new life, and then this has to happen.
I never should ask you to marry me, Nellie.
I have no regrets, darling.
Honest?
Honest.
Then I don't care what happens.
Well, I do. Can't you convince Sheriff Chamberlain that this bandit, whoever he is a fake?
In the morning, a U.S. Marshal's arriving in town with photographs that'll identify me.
Oh, no.
That's why I'm selling the ranch.
But if we run away, it'll look like an admission of guilt.
What else is there to do?
Well, you could go to the marshal and tell him everything. I mean, before he reaches town.
What'll that prove?
Well, if you go to him and tell him, wouldn't that show him you're innocent of these new crimes?
It's mighty risky, Nellie.
Wouldn't it be worth it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. In the morning, I'll ride out to the North Road and wait for him. At least he'll see I'm put up for trial, not strung up to the nearest tree.
Hi, boss.
I found your note. Dawson will begin to get suspicious if we leave his place so much.
I thought I'd better get out here and tell you there's a marshal coming to town with photographs that will identify him.
Well, that's why he's leaving.
Yeah, but he's staying. And what's more, he's riding out to meet that marshal and tell him everything.
He's what?
You know, if that marshal slaps him in jail, we won't be able to pin any more jobs on him.
Well, then we can't let him put him in jail. Now, when he goes out to meet him, I want you to follow him and stage an ambush.
You mean kill the marshal?
Exactly. And then bring Dawson back here to me.
You don't need to reach for that, Marshal.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you. I rode out here to meet you, so
Who are you? Your face looks kind of familiar to me.
Well, folks around here know me as Thomason. But my real...
Shots came from this direction. The pictures. Bill Lanning.
Him dead?
Nobody's badly hurt.
Me remember seeing Doctor's house not far from here last time we'd ride this way, Kimasabi.
I'd like you to take him there, Tonto. I'll go after the man who shot him. I'll leave a clear trail for you to follow. Shouldn't have reached for your gun.
Who are you?
Now raise your hands while I search you.
Search me. For what?
The papers you took from Marshal Lanning's body.
Look, mister, that mask says you're on the wrong side of the law. Suppose we could...
This mask has always been on the right side of the law.
Look, I'm in trouble. I admit that. Can't we make some kind of a deal?
I don't make deals with crooks. This explains everything. You're Dice Dawson. You knew these photographs would identify you, so you...
What if I am Dawson? I didn't shoot that, Marshal.
Then who did?
Somebody hidden up in the rocks above us.
All right, Dawson. I'll ride back to the scene of the shooting and try to find evidence that'll support your story. But first, I'm going to turn you over to the sheriff.
Get your hands up.
Nellie!
Who is this man? I heard a shot.
Drop those guns. The other one.
You better take this.
Keep it. My hand got hooked when he shot the gun out.
Who is he? Why is he wearing that mask?
I don't know. But he thinks I shot the marshal.
The marshal?
He was shot from ambush.
At least that's his story.
It's the truth.
Perhaps.
Well, what are we going to do?
I'll have to run for it.
But you didn't shoot him.
I know that, but I couldn't prove it.
Well, where will you go? You don't have any money.
I know where I can get some. Just give me time to cover up my trail.
You realize this will make you his accomplice.
I'm his wife.
I'll get in touch with you later. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, Jay. Take care of yourself.
Nellie, I...
Mrs. Dawson, if
The
your
name's
husband...
Thomason. And keep your hands up. I'm a good shot.
If your husband is innocent, he'll never prove it by running away.
He wouldn't prove it by staying either. He'd be lynched.
Why did he turn outlaw again?
He didn't turn outlaw. Somebody else has been staging these holdups.
Someone who leaves black dice at the scene of his crimes?
Yes. Whoever it is wants people to think he's Dice Dawson.
Why?
How should I know? Maybe he's crazy. Maybe he's trying to impress people. All I know is Jay had nothing to do with it.
We'll soon find out. Thanks, Tonto. You're just in time.
Why, you...
Me leave Lanning with Doctor. Pick up your trail while you're here. Leave Scout with Silver.
Will the marshal live?
Doctor say him be all right.
Good. Unfortunately, Dice Dawson, alias J. Thomason, got away from me. We'll have to go after him.
Well, you won't find him. Jay's had all the head start he needs.
That may be true, Tonto. Dawson knows this area better than we do, and he's had a good start. I'd like you to try to pick up his trail anyway. I'll meet you on the road outside of town.
What you do now?
I'm going to take Mrs. Dawson to the sheriff.
All right, take me to the sheriff. He'll have some questions to ask you.
About my mask?
Yes. It'll be your word against mine, and I don't think he'll believe you.
I think he will, Mrs. Dawson. You see, Dave Chamberlain and I have known each other for a long time. I'm sorry to have to do this, ma'am, but it's the only way. Let's go.
Well, like I said, Dawson threw a couple shots in my direction. Then I saw two men riding up.
In the other room.
Howdy, Mr. Elliott. I came about selling the ranch.
Good. Did you bring the deed?
Got it out of the bank yesterday.
Now, if you'll just sign this.
Mr. Elliott, I know this sounds complicated, but could you let me have some of the money now and pay the rest to Nellie? I'm on my way to catch the stage up at Upton, and I need a little cash.
Oh, of course. Now, how much cash would you need?
Oh, $200 should be enough.
Are you going to see Nellie before you leave?
No, we've already said goodbye.
Put your hands up, Dawson.
How did you know I'm Dawson?
This spring in Texas, I saw an old reward poster with your picture on it.
Mr. Elliott, I haven't had anything to do with these killings. I swear I haven't.
Maybe you haven't, but I've had a great deal to do with it.
What?
My father built the biggest cattle empire in Wyoming. And he lost his money through bad investments. And he had to sell off the best part of his land, little by little. When I discovered we had a celebrated outlaw in our midst, I saw there was a chance to put things back the way they were.
You framed me.
No. Let's say I used you. You're going to rob and kill until I get all the land I need.
You must be crazy.
Oh, you won't have to do the work yourself, no. Duff will do that for you. Wearing your clothes and riding your horse. I'm going to recruit a gang of thieves and murderers from all over the West to help him. Duff! Thanks.
Shall I get rid of him?
No, not now. Duff, I'm going to own all this basin. And when I get all the land I need at my price, then we'll kill him. And we'll produce his body so that the sheriff will think that the Dawson case is closed. We'll tell him that we shot him while he was robbing the ranch payroll.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'll take him down to the basement now. Tie him up. Meet me in town.
Where?
At the sheriff's office. They should have found the marshal by now.
Listen here, Nellie Thomason. I know the masked man, and I'd believe anything he told me.
I don't care what he told you.
If your husband is innocent, you should be willing to...
Dave, is it true what I've heard?
Yeah, I'm afraid it is, Mr. Elliott.
A masked man.
Don't let the mask fool you. This man has done more to enforce law than any sheriff in the West.
Good. Then I'm glad to meet you.
Howdy.
Don't let me interrupt.
Oh, you weren't interrupting anything. These gentlemen seem to think I should help them hang my husband.
You should help to clear him if he's innocent.
You don't think he's innocent?
Maybe I do.
The photographs prove he's Dice Dawson.
But I don't prove he murdered anyone. Dawson claimed Lanning was shot by someone hiding in the rocks above the road.
Oh, nonsense.
I thought so at first myself. But if Dawson shot Lanning to get those photographs, why didn't he kill me? He had the opportunity.
Yeah, that's right.
And if Dawson killed 4 people in the last month, why did he hesitate to kill one more when it was the obvious solution to his problem?
I see what you mean. He ran away instead.
I've told you 20 times Jay couldn't kill anyone.
Sheriff, I think we should go back to the place where Lanning was shot and look around.
That's all right with me.
My horse is behind the jail. Tonto and I will meet you on the road outside of town.
I'm sorry, but I'll have to keep you here.
I understand, Sheriff.
Stay on your horse.
Why, what's up?
A masked man is riding out to North Road with the sheriff. I want you to ambush him.
Ambush him?
Yes. Go back to the ranch, put on Dawson's coat, use his Palomino horse. Take the shortcut. I want Chamberlain to be sure to see you after you shoot.
It's kind of risky, isn't it?
Do as I say. We've got to prove to Chamberlain once and for all that Dawson's a killer.
All right.
This is the place, Sheriff. Lanning was lying right here. Dawson was kneeling beside him. When he saw us, he got up and ran toward us.
You hurt bad, Kimasabi?
No, Tonto. It's just my shoulder.
Let me get bandage and medicine.
The dirty coyote. He was out of pistol range. I better go after him.
It's no use, Sheriff. He's got too big of a lead. You'd never be able to trail him up on those rocks.
Yeah, you're probably right. How's that arm?
Not bad. Did you get a good look at him?
Yes, it was Dawson.
Dawson?
Yes, he was masked, but I recognized his coat and his Palomino horse.
I don't see how it could have been Dawson.
But I tell you, I saw him.
Who else knew we were coming here?
Well, Nellie and Elliot, of course, but...
Sheriff, I think I know a way how we may be able to prove who's really behind these holdups.
Where'd you hide Dawson's horse?
I tied him up at the old shack in Cactus Canyon. I left Dawson's coat there, too.
Did you cover your trail?
Mm-hmm. I circled clear to Feather River before...
In there, in there. What do you want?
You try kill my friend.
What are you talking about?
You only one who know we go to North Road. You only one who know we think maybe Dawson innocent.
You mean you were ambushed?
By men who want us to think him Dice Dawson.
Well, how do you know it wasn't Dawson?
Dawson's hand hurt this morning when gunshot out of it. Him not able to use rifle like men who try ambush.
Oh, so that's it. Now, look, Indian, I don't know what your game is, but I'm not going to stand here.
You stay away from that.
It's a mistake. I didn't have anything to do with the shooting of your friend.
Me not make mistake.
Don't move, Injun. Give me that gun.
Well, what did you take so long for?
Want to hear what he had to say first. Looks bad, boss.
He's bluffing. If he had any real proof, he'd have brought Chamberlain with him.
He wasn't bluffing about Dawson's hand, though. I noticed that when I tied him up in the cellar.
You fool. Why didn't you tell me?
Raise your hands, both of you. Hold it, Elliot.
What's the meaning of this? How dare you break into my house?
Never mind the act. You fell right into our trap. I heard enough to place you both under arrest.
Dawson's in the basement, Tonto. You'd better get him while we tie these crooks.
Get out. Don't worry. With the testimony I can produce and the evidence I secured at Elliott's ranch, we'll have no trouble in convicting both him and his henchmen.
I hope so, Sheriff. Well, Jay, I'm glad things turned out the way they did.
We owe you so much, I don't know how to thank you.
You might begin by not hiding your honesty and courage under an assumed name.
I don't understand.
As Thomason, you're just another rancher. As Dawson, you could set an example for every youngster who has ever gotten off to a bad start.
You mean sort of show them the way back?
Yes, Jay. You could show them the way. Adios, my friends. Come on, Tonto.
He's right, Jay. We've been too busy thinking of ourselves to realize how much we could help others.
I understand that now.
The masked man has a way of making people understand a lot about themselves.
Who is he?
They call him the Lone Ranger.